live streaming?
Yeah, this is unpublished. This is unlisted. So don't worry. You're not going to be necessarily seen by the whole world unless you give them the link to. Don't worry about that. Yeah, this is just an experiment, guys. Also because you've seen it's quite precarious, the equilibrium of that thing. Oh, here I am. Hey. Okay, whoever is going to be there. At the moment, nobody, but they have the link. So we just really started with this, and this is the meetup was literally created 3 weeks ago. So this is you couldn't participate last time, and I was explaining the other members who just came tonight what's going to be at least what the idea is behind this meetup. So it is going to start as a series of weekly events, at least for this group, crypto trading. And the concept is of this specific meetup. So I want to distinguish two things, right? There's probably going to be the same people involved, more or less, or overlapping. I'm going to be here, but I'm also going to be participating and acting on in other areas. You're going to see Urs the next times. You're going to see Mark, and then they also are going to be actors in other activities, all with the common ground of SIP as a denominator. So we want to use this space that is a crowd space at the moment. This is owned by and run by SIP. So this is Urs. We expect to attract all the people who are feeling like they are treated like the leftovers from Crypto Valley, pretty much, right? They don't feel like they like, honestly, just to sit and watch presentations one way. So these, we call these crypto traders for a reason. We call these crypto traders because we know that there's a lot of interest in the technology, but there's also a lot of interest in profiting and in trading. There may be people, and tonight we don't have. Peter could join. Peter was one example, a 60 years old guy, just to give you the spectrum of the people, and then probably we can go around the table and just for a quick introduction. And I will start. Peter, do you remember Peter? Peter, he probably was not there when you joined the last time. Peter is a 60 years old guy who apparently just discovered by chance in 2015 somebody called Bitcoin, and he invested just a few thousands, and now those few thousands just converted themselves into a very nice little fund. So he's actually more into space. So I guess he's more into the crypto space than I am. He's mining. He started with all sort of things. You'll meet him. He's an interesting character. But you also have people coming from the corporate world who are interested in understanding investing more, maybe because they want just to find a solution to their financial challenges, or because they are really interested in making a difference and creating for themselves a new career in the space of, for example, blockchain, right? So this is it, but this is not it. Meaning that tonight, you are not supposed to bring anything with you unless you want to. This is really an evolution, so it's going to evolve into a space where we ask questions, where we answer questions, when we host other events with other people. I don't know how many of you know, but of course companies like Shapeshift, Ethereum, and just to name just a couple, they're here. So we really want to create a space where in one of the next lives, we may have one of the people coming from these companies and participating in a sort of question and answer session, an interview session. But tonight is really about sharing the feel. So I introduce myself. I am actually not coming from the crypto space at all. I'm having a day job, and my day job is technology specialist within the Johnson & Johnson, so a healthcare company. Yes, but I don't only have one life, so my second life is more related to crypto space, and I'm investing myself personally too. Oh, thank you so much. The thingy, the door opener is actually not there, Matt. Is that thing over there, just in the middle of the room? Yeah, you'll see the screen. Yes, and then it's going to be obvious. Thank you. So yeah, I'm getting myself involved with Urs and Mark to create a gravity center in Zug, in the Crypto Valley. We are blessed by the place, by the location, and by the fact that it is recognized as, one of the centers in the world for the crypto and ICOs. And there's just people who keep coming to Zug to launch their ICOs. And many of them don't have a clue. Many of them just say, yeah, fantastic, I have an idea, I want to tokenize whatever have you, the air that I breathe. And these people do not receive the support they require. So that's why we're also forming this advisory board. That's the goal, right? On a legal framework, on all the aspects related to the business case, to the creation of white papers, to the change management and communication related to that.
But what is the difference between maybe Lakeside Partners?
We are not connected to them, and they are offering. Hey, ciao.
Allora, ciao.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
sure. So I don't know what the specifics difference are with them. I know that there is a space for us to act. I don't think that, but unless you tell me wrong, have you been to the Lakeside Partners and do they host meetups?
I don't think they are hosting meetups.
No, exactly. But so this meetup is really to get connected, really, and then we will learn as we grow. Tonight is not about ICOs, but really about opening a conversation around who you are. I mean, what are your expectations? You know, what's your experience around the crypto space? Where are you from? I'm Italian. I'm in Switzerland since 10 years. And yeah, I don't know. It doesn't tell much about me, perhaps, but something. So, Matt, do you want to just give a flavor of who you are?
Sure. Matt, I'm an independent consultant. I'm a Brit originally, but Swiss now. My day job is restructuring turnaround consulting, but I work with a number of startups as an advisor, investor on a small scale. And I'm just interested in crypto, understanding more about it, its applications and potential opportunities.
Okay, I'm Andrea, I'm Italian too. I'm here in Zug from a couple of years. And also I'm really interested in the crypto space because I think that has really huge potential for the future. That's it.
I'm Anna, I'm Russian and I'm a blockchain enthusiast and just wondering what is happening in Crypto Valley.
Well, I'm Nicolas. Ilya is my partner. We started a company a year ago after working in the city more in trading world investment. And we now propose alternative investment based on mining, plus work with a large fund based in Eastern Europe looking for interesting projects beside the mining side or linked to mostly cryptocurrency. So we are looking for a lot of meetups now to meet people, find interesting projects, propose and see.
So you're working to invest on those projects?
Yeah, basically it's not our main business, but as one of our partners working with us in the trading side, investment side, is actually just set up a fund around $10 million US, is looking to invest in a lot of different projects, and as well as the Crypto Valley, and is not is looking after us for making these events. Maybe creating another meetup, but I don't think it would be useful. And
we would love to create synergies, but you know, I think this is as we go. I guess that there is a lot of interest coming from all over the place. I think tomorrow, Urs told me that there's going to be a potential investor coming in, interested in understanding what they can do here. And the fact is that you talk to the banks, Urs is very well connected with the local tissue, the local fabric, being Swiss, having been in the entrepreneurial scene in Zug and the Swiss space for years, is opening channels also with the cantonal institutions. And I guess he met with the finance directors of the canton, Zug, a couple of days ago, and he started talking about crypto. And these guys, I said, okay, didn't really get into it. Yeah, of course, I guess there is the feeling, right, that something is happening in crypto space, Crypto Valley, Zug is on the newspapers, but there is also a lot of not full understanding. So I think it's going to be very interesting also to establish connection with guys like you to help bring the perspective of the investors coming in, because at the end, I mean, apart from this meetup is a touch point, but in the back we have this idea that we would really like to create an ecosystem here where we connect also with the local authorities, and why not provide a space for newcomers, investors, and banks and the cantonal authorities to sit together. And hey, listen, there's real opportunities here. I'm working, as I told you, in Johnson & Johnson. I can tell I'm working for an American company. And here, there's discussions at the cantonal level about, okay, what's going to be the Trump effect on the economy? How many American companies are going to get back? Now, I don't think that J&J and others, thank you so much, Matt, are going to just flee. But, you know, just think about that, how much money is flowing to Zug thanks to this crypto economy, to the tokenomics as well. And this is going to overcompensate. So I'm a strong believer in that. And so, Ilya, you are with Nicholas, your partners?
Yeah, it's my business partner. I'm Russian originally, but I grew up a lot in Italy as well. I lived almost 7 years in Italy. I lived
Where?
In Sanremo.
Ah, Sanremo. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of sun.
So,
Yeah, good.
very nice country, and I lived in London for a bit. And as you kind of mentioned, we moved here end of last year, or end of 2016, to start a business kind of more centered around venture capital, private equity. But as the blockchain technology is evolving, even for qualified and institutional investors, it's becoming very difficult to argue with it, right?
Are you technology experts, guys? Just for me to understand what's your background?
Not really in the technology space, we're more in the
Or do-
brokerage space.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Trading investment.
Trading investment.
But it's been now more than 6 months with mining also, so it's not really our background.
Nah,
but
cool.
We're
Cool.
really into it.
So
Cool.
we're also enthusiasts about the
All right.
world and the-
Hi. Good evening. Welcome.
Merci.
Please find a seat
Find a seat.
or take a seat. Pavel, do you want to introduce quickly yourself?
Yeah, sure. So here's the Russian corner. Yeah,
Well, crypto space is a lot of that.
a lot of Russians indeed. Yeah, originally I'm from Moscow. I live in Switzerland for more than 8 years now. And with Anna, she's my investment partner, you know. And we started to learn about the blockchain in 2016 when the DAO project started. So it's 2 years already,
Yeah.
right? Since then, I have invested something
Mm-hmm.
privately,
Mhm.
and since the February of 2017, my last contract, I have a background in a commodity trading, so I'm a trader myself. I know how this market works. And since February, I started to do something for my own.
Mhm.
So I'm doing just a small private consulting about blockchain just for peers who don't know anything, for newbies who want to understand how to buy it, how to do a wallet, you know, things like
So
that.
you'd be a perfect member of this community.
Yes, absolutely. I'm very happy about that. So that's I found you. And yeah, it's developing. I don't do mining, but apparently we are thinking to buy a miner. So looking how to bring it maybe into the country. Also, I do consulting for companies and investors, mainly from Russia, who want to bring something. They heard about blockchain, they want to profit from it maybe, or they want to establish their own startup, but they don't know how. I have a small family office as a partner, so we can establish companies, we can give directors to them,
Mhm.
things like that. Then also I have a group of my friends with whom we do crypto trading. So we
Mhm.
trade on different exchanges. They are developers, so they did their own bot, so algorithmic trading.
Mhm.
So it works with the Polonix, Kraken, a
Okay.
couple of exchanges. And now we are thinking how to maybe do fundraising. So they also have their daily job. So I'm acting more as a marketing director.
Mhm.
So I'm looking the legal method, how to make it legit in Switzerland. So for instance, if we would crowdfund
Mhm.
enough money to quit our daily jobs and do it on a daily basis, just this project, so they know how to build and decentralized cryptocurrency exchange, right? So we also can do ICO. Also myself, I'm just the last month I'm very active in the trading. I'm following a couple of forks, also gathering groups in the Telegram. So looking for opportunities. Interesting. So, but the most interesting thing to me is to understand how to make it legal, this crowdfunding in Switzerland, because it's extremely easy. So there are a couple of forks at the moment who are somewhere around scam, you know, but
big time.
Yes, but they collect 3 millions just in 5 days.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
People don't understand what is it about.
No.
Just
They
shut up and take my money.
And this is great, Pavel, because this is exactly one of the points where we're coming from. People don't even look anymore what's in there in the white papers, or they don't even bother to read the white papers. People just go invest. And
there was no white paper.
And there was not even white paper in that case. So people didn't even probably ask the question. I just invest. It's a great idea. And so that tells everybody there is a lot of opportunities. So I'm following Cointelegraph and all sorts of things, and I'm sure you are as well. And I think I've read somewhere 2017 has been the year of ICOs. I believe that 2018 is going to be the year where ICOs are going to become serious, because at the moment still there's going to be a lot of scams, but there's a lot of target potential there to make something good. And sorry if you're there. If you want to just come closer as well with the chairs, you're very welcome to join us at the table here. We don't want to make you feel like you are not part of this discussion in any way. And do you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Okay. My name is Johan. I'm Swedish and I'm living here in Zug since 6 years. Since 6 years. I've been dealing with healthcare, medical devices and nuclear diagnostics for my whole life. And I am between jobs now, and I try to understand this topic, blockchain. So I'm trying to learn as much as I can right now.
It's great.
So
thanks.
That's what I'm doing.
Thank you.
Hi, okay. My name is Fabiola. I moved from China to Switzerland, and as you know that the topic is super big. And of course I would like to know more. I work here in Zug for a company that do technical support, like really to write white papers and let's say and as well to do audits for contracts, but we don't go in the
in this space.
in this space. So
Okay.
for me it's really interesting
Do you have the supply chain company?
No.
Or the UBS? Okay.
No.
Oh, you don't need to tell
we
me
are
if you don't
really
feel like
technical.
Yeah.
Well, we can tell you Validity Labs,
Okay.
but we don't really go into like the financial part. Of
Okay.
like
Okay.
into this part. It's more like really the technical stuff, and then yeah, for me it's really interesting.
And how long have you been here now?
Short.
How short?
Really short. Like well, in Switzerland for a while, but starting this space like a month.
So
really.
in Zug for a month? Have you been to in Zug for a month?
No, in Zug I have been longer.
For longer. Okay.
Yeah, but getting into this space for
Okay.
a short time.
And I want to also tell you that the goal here is to create a community as well, right? So when the weather will allow, I mean, one of our goals is really also to have meetups where we go out and, have a chat, have a friendly discussion, because there's also the need of that. There's many people moving here. You will learn from Mark, not tonight, but when he's going to be here. He moved from, he's moving his family from Texas, where he's based. Mark is one of the co-founders of this meetup, and we're having discussions about the bigger picture. And he has been knowing Zug since 20 years or more, because he's always been active in the trading of the crude oil. And Zug has always been one of the capitals for for commodities trading. So Glencore and Rio Tinto, I believe, they're also here somewhere, and the big names. And now this is becoming a big thing for this. So do you all have a wallet, for example? I know many of you, several of you have. Do you all? So just to understand how much are you into the crypto space? Are you already investing? Have you tried something?
Coinbase.
Coinbase,
Yeah.
which just reached 1 billion in their P&L. So from last year, so it's a big thing. Coinbase. What are you using, guys?
Most of them.
Most
I
of
would say it's as we used to work for brokers, are
Yeah.
regulated. It's quite important to follow the fact that none of these exchanges is regulated. None of them is protected right now. So if
Mhm.
somebody want to invest 10, say 10K, 10 million, whatever, you need to split it in between all of them.
I think there is the first regulated, at least I know it's regulated now in EU, and that's already something. Is actually Japanese one. I think it's called Bitflex. I'll post the link there. I think I just read the news this morning about that. It's quite interesting. So you're investing. You are here because you want to invest money, or because you're educating
Yeah,
yourself.
for sure. Yeah, as well.
I know because
But as
there's.
well, this is a recurring question, like
Yeah.
people always place. So
Agree.
For me, it was they had a presentation for Gladios.io. They were presented here in the couple of months ago, and to be able to invest, they wanted to have to invest it in Ethereums in there.
Okay.
That's why I got into this.
So you purchased this Ethereum?
Yeah.
Do you have something?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. When did you buy? Because there was a big dip in the...
Yeah, no, I bought it when they were 250,
Okay.
but just like 4.
That's okay. I mean,
but it was just to understand how it was working. So.
exactly. I think that the majority of people also I'm talking to, they're just happy to spend 100 and they can do it. They can also invest in ICOs with 100 and see how it works. Yeah. And this is also a cool of these the democratization space. This is a CoinMarketCap. I think it's very popular. I use it regularly. And lately, I don't know how many of you are invested in the top 20. I'd say I'm not personally invested in all of them, but in a good half. And, it's interesting to see. And at the moment, I'm not doing it. All right. So I'd like to understand this also from you, how you are trading. And you are traders, guys. So you are already trading in this space personally, on an individual basis.
We have our corporate account that we speculate on, but it's not really the main part of the business. Yeah.
But part of it is because when you mine, for instance,
Yeah.
you can generate X income per day
Yeah.
and say, I'm targeting 180 or 120%
Yeah.
whatever a year, and that's something you can touch, you change in dollar every day. Now, if you want to access bigger return, you will hold some currency you mine in order for them to double, triple, and that's where you can access a bigger return. So in a way, it's not really trading because we create them, but when you hold a Digibyte, for instance, and Digibyte do 10 times more, it's kind of trading in a way because we hold the token, we keep it, we just don't pay for it. We pay electricity, material, and we create the coin. So in a way, it's kind of, speculative.
Mm-hmm.
But first we want to make sure that people understand the leverage, don't use over leverage or these kind of things in the trading. It's really important to educate people, as you say, because in our business, when we used to work in the city, we saw a lot of people using over leverage, using bad products to invest, obviously losing money. And I think it's the job of this kind of events to make sure everybody that don't know this kind of market takes take it carefully, right?
Yeah.
And move the right.
And honestly, since this is the third session, this is the third week we're on, but this is a good point that you make. We're having plans that we need to start now executing on because there's a lot of requests that I'm hearing. And it's good to see new faces. Apart from this side that I've already seen, you're all new. And I guess this is the ratio at which people are showing up. I think you are now 5 people that never showed up. The group has grown from 0 to, I think, at least the Telegram group to about 50 in... Since we're not making any publicity, people are just finding out about it and sharing the link. We want to do a lot of education as well. So this is going to be also the power of the communication out there. We're still thinking on how to best do that. Videos, whatever, but definitely live events like these for the moment are the main target. But so you're into mining. That's a very interesting topic. Are you not considering, for example, outsourcing mining? Why would you do mining yourselves?
We mine ourselves, but right now for the capacity, depending on what material you use for the mining, obviously if you use Antminer or if you use different type of components, you need to source them. And also you need to have reliable partners. For instance, if you're on components from NVIDIA, it's different than if you buy them from China. Directly, even if they are made in China, it's kind of, we outsource any investment that is too big for us to make by ourselves right now. So we're still outsourcing mostly, 100% in Switzerland because we feel like, I don't know if you heard about what happened a couple of weeks ago for Bitmain, which is the biggest miner for Bitcoin. They are literally getting kicked out of China. And 80% of the miner for Bitmain and
they're there.
Bitcoin
Do you
are
know?
there.
Yeah.
But do you know that Bitmain established a company here?
Yeah, obviously. They just moved their headquarters because what they need for mining is stability, especially in regulation side. Not really. Electricity is important. That's why they also move in Canada, which is very cheap in electricity. Switzerland is really cheap in electricity in comparison with other countries in Western Europe.
Switzerland is cheap.
Yeah, like for instance, we consider France as cheap, and when I first came in, it's way cheaper. So I was like, wow.
In comparison with France, it's cheaper.
Yeah, and in comparison with
You
UK
say
and
Western Europe, right?
In Western Europe, yeah.
Western Europe is one of the, obviously, if you take Eastern Europe, some of our partners are mining for say, Slovakia, in other countries like this. It's more interesting for the electricity cost, but regulatory-wise, same as in China. China is very cheap, but look at what happened. They have to move 80% of the miners for Bitcoin in Canada and in Switzerland because of this stability. So we prefer paying kind of a premium, working Swiss only, and then that's what we do. So yeah, we subcontract. We work
Your
with them.
miners are here.
Obviously, all of them have to.
Where? In the mountains somewhere?
We can tell you. Where.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
describe the location. I mean, it should be called
Next to the river.
You have two ways. I mean, some
Yes,
miners
I
will
want
decide to take a warehouse that is far away from the electricity plant. The better thing is the electricity circuits make you have taxes on electricity the farthest you are
what is
from
your
the
rate for electricity?
So at the moment we're paying around 11 cents.
11, that's a good price.
Yeah,
But at the
I
same
mean,
time, it's possible to reduce it further depending on how close you are located to the actual power source, right? And this is where we work with sub-partners, and some of them, for example, they prefer using part of renewable energy. Again, they pay a premium, but of course, a lot of people are also saying, well, it could be bad, right? Using this much electricity.
Yeah, and I think that Switzerland is very focused on those sustainability topics as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if that become a topic for discussion. I'm also interested in understanding how much are you aware of mining? Is that something that you're familiar with, at least in terms of concept?
From China, of course.
Since you're the experts in mining, guys, why don't you just give us a quick overview?
well,
if you feel like
mining, if you resume it, is making the job the bank is doing right now for Europe. So this is taking care of the ledger, taking care of the blockchain. The main idea behind mining can be lost for guys like Bitmain, because when Bitmain mine 80% of the Bitcoin, it's not really decentralized, it becomes centralized because one guy owns the whole blockchain, and the more blocks, the more, I would say, percentage you are in the mining, the more impact you can do in the blockchain, and that's not really good for the overall crypto. That's why we, for instance, try to focus on other things than Bitcoin for mining, more GPU-based mining, which is for us more something that have future, because we consider that everybody in the future will be able to use a couple of % of his computer to validate the transaction in the blockchain, and that's what we think. Keep this idea of decentralizing the blockchain mining. So yeah, mining is just basically validating the new blocks, new transaction. So you send a cryptocurrency, any of them, well, obviously not Ripple is working differently, but to somebody else. As you may see, it takes some time for the transaction to happen. Way less time than a wire transfer by bank, but still it takes a couple of minutes sometimes. This is the time needed for a new block to be created and added to the blockchain. And this new block is basically made and validated by miners around the world that share the knowledge and that validate this new block. And they use the processing power of the computer to validate this new block, and by paying electricity and using their computer to validate this new block and sustain and maintain the blockchain, they get rewarded by a fragment of the coin. So you
or fixed reward, it depends
fixed,
on which
it depends.
coin.
Depends if you solo mine, it's always like speed
Yeah.
complicated.
And no, there's and I mean, we don't want this to be any technical table, right? I'm a Bitcoin enthusiast and I'm studying it myself, but I'm not. I will shy away from defining myself as a Bitcoin as a blockchain expert. But there are differences, right? In the main cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is showing a lot of limitations from a technical perspective. And that's why it's also news. I think Swipe is the first service. Swipe is the first service that 2 years ago announced that they would support digital payments along with any other fiat currency with Bitcoin. Yesterday or today, they announced that they're not going to support Bitcoin payments anymore because the Bitcoin network is just clogged. So they say we wanted people to have access to these lightning fast way of performing transactions with very low fees. Instead, we are ending up with very high fees and very, very long times for any transaction. So they're not shutting the doors completely. We know that there is a fork coming. There will be more. There's the Lightning upgrade that they keep talking about. But I guess there's many other. So what are you guys mining? I'm curious about that because Bitcoin is.
So maybe just to give you an idea, obviously in mining you have kind of two hardware specs, right? You have the ASIC miners, which an ASIC chip is really kind of created specifically for one algorithm.
Yeah.
And then you have the GPUs, which are graphic cards, or which you use for gaming, or GPUs not necessarily done for, and they can basically run different algorithms, right?
Sure.
So we're using GPUs, so we kind of switch around based on what's more profitable and based on what we believe in and based on also maybe what we want to speculate on because from our perspective it's also kind of a pet project, a bit of a hobby as well, right?
How much in terahash power would you be able to say?
Well, I mean, it really,
just curious, but
it depends it also depends on which algorithm, right?
The total terahash power you have at your disposal. I have 2,300 terahash power on Genesis Mining. I'm not doing any mining myself.
You do cloud mining?
Yes.
Do you think it's not scam?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's a Ponzi scheme.
Huh?
This should be Ponzi.
You know what? I think that many things can be talked about as Ponzi schemes. One of the first services was the Bitcoin USI-Tech, for example, USI-Tech. Go search for it. It's been claimed as a Ponzi scheme since 2 years. They're still there. They're still giving money to people. I think that there will be a point in which they're not going to be profitable anymore.
Sorry, disregard. It's not a pure Ponzi scheme. I do believe they have a hardware, but what they sold to everybody, it's much more than they own.
That I don't know. But you could verify possibly that even though, as you said...
You can't verify.
No, well, they tell you that, like you said, we cannot say, but, we can show you pictures, we can do that. I know that I mean, it's just a minimal investment, I think. I told you guys about $2,000. And I'm projecting to double that in a year's time frame, which for as little as that, not doing anything.
Contract? Is it limited contract?
It's a limited contract.
Yeah, you see.
It's a limited contract.
This is a SHA-256 contract.
Yes,
right?
It's a SHA. It's actually it's not because it's based on they let you select which. It's interesting their model. Do you have an account with them, Genesis Mining? So the way they do it is that as a user, they assume you don't know anything about this thing, and it's a fair assumption most of the times. When you start, they ask you, okay, which coin do you want to mine? And the cool thing is that they are going to dynamically assign the terahash power you have. Yes, they may start with ASIC and mine Bitcoin, but then they are going to do some automated trading, so they have their own bots. And based on what exchanges are more profitable, your returns are not going to be paid entirely in Bitcoin, for example, but a fraction of that is going to be Bitcoin, Monero, whatever have you. And it changes throughout the day. I'm receiving daily payouts in Bitcoin, Litecoin, Monero, and Zcash at the moment, and they keep changing. So it is an interesting space. I don't know if maybe one of the next times, because this is really a cool topic, and I myself do not have the necessary knowledge to say, is it still profitable to do? I mean, on a private basis, you are
I mean, it depends. If you take Ethereum a few years ago, even
Yeah.
when it was $30 Ethereum,
Yeah.
it wasn't profitable for most. But people that mine Ethereum and made 1 Ethereum or 2 Ethereum a day at this time, and still hold the Ethereum because most miners keep their Ethereum. Make the calculation right now how much they have.
but now at this point in time
At
where
this
we are,
point, yeah, I would say it's still profitable.
cool. Maybe next time you can
But
give us a
most
bit more
miners
detail.
tell you no because they don't
Of
want
course,
to.
okay.
They don't want to share.
No, we still mine
Switch
in
pool,
pools.
yeah,
Which rule are you using?
it varies, depending on the currency, depending on the fee of the pool, because obviously you have fees from the pool.
Block factories,
Nano
Mongo,
pool.
is very good.
Nanopool.
You can have plenty of them. It's
Block factory.
Block factory, yeah.
it's really up to you to decide. But for us, the mining, what you just say for the cloud mining,
Mhm.
we really kind of skeptical about it because it's like Bernard Madoff Ponzi, right? It can last
It
years
sounds very
and
much.
it will not be a Ponzi or will be. We'll never really know. And for Bernard Madoff investors, the first one that came in and out, they were happy. It's the last one that
Yeah.
were unhappy.
Sure.
So it's more for cloud mining for us to know, all right, if mining become really unprofitable, how's these guys going to do? Like, these cloud minings have a lot of hardware, a lot of cost, and how are they going to pay out the money to the client? So our approach is more, we wanted to propose a product for investor, that are like large investor, that take part of the risk out in the crypto environment, but keep the potential up. So for us, investing in hardware, it's physical. For us, the clients we work with, they own the rig, they have a contract,
Okay.
it's their material, it's their hardware, we just manage it,
Okay.
we just find the location. So anytime they want to get back the mine, they want to get back the rig, we deliver, it's okay. If they want to keep working with us, we keep working for them, which is interesting right now because somebody in UK, for instance, work on most of the clients. It's not profitable to mine there, but having your mine
Because of the cost of the energy.
Exactly. Plus the regulation. I mean, if UK government come and say, I don't want you to mine,
Okay.
what they're doing, I don't know. So that's where we come in. But we really prefer going into the investor own his share, he own a hardware, he own graphic card, he has something tangible rather than the cloud mining is a bit.
Well, obviously the advantage with GPUs is the fact that you have a usage outside of mining, and obviously, of course, you have to consider they are probably being sold at a premium at the moment. What
Yeah,
the real price
Yeah,
should be,
absolutely.
which is a given, fair
Yeah.
enough. But at the same time, if in a year's time mining isn't profitable anymore, you'll still recover a part of your investment.
value.
Right? So, I don't know how the contract on the cloud mining works, but let's say Genesis Mining declares bankruptcy. I mean, do you have something? I don't know. I mean, I'm asking, right?
I mean, no, right? I mean, it depends. I mean, I guess if they declare bankruptcy, they will just disappear.
I mean, do you have any-
And they will stop paying everybody, and everybody will be angry. They're, oh, yeah, that's a Ponzi scheme.
No,
So-
no, no, can I just ask? I went to visit a mining company, Swiss mining company, near Schaffhausen a couple of weeks back. Is that the one that you're using, perhaps?
Oh, you have few here. Like we are surprised. It's been like 2 weeks now. We're looking to expand partnership, and as we don't want to work with only one, we're trying to see. Obviously, you need to compare them to make sure that one of them don't offer you something lower in terms of hosting price. We want also to get more into the green energy because everybody says, oh, mining, consume, blah, blah, blah. The banks and wire transfer, server for banks consume also, but that's something we don't say about. Right?
So, one inch of thousands actually.
Yeah, I went to
not
one.
bad.
It's
not
Swiss
bad.
crypto mining.
Yeah, it's not a bad offer.
Yeah,
actually.
so
It's
I
just,
was looking at buying one of their rigs. So again, it was a choice of ASIC or graphics card.
ASIC there you kind of really, because with an ASIC you can only mine the currencies based on that ASIC chip, right? And if those currencies are not profitable to mine, I mean, there's people that invest in the money, and obviously all these ASIC miners are being sold at a massive premium compared to what buying at Bitmain. You're paying $2,500. You're buying it here, you're probably paying like $6,000-$7,000, right? And so there's no resale value. Whereas with the GPUs, I mean, it has from our perspective, I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, right? Everyone has their own view on it. But yeah, that's what we feel, it's...
No, you have plenty of miners, yeah. I mean, it's been 2 weeks we visited probably 5 of them already.
Okay, what would you say were the top 3?
Well, I mean, it depends.
It depends because they never show you all.
And some of them are private, some of them are more public, like Swiss crypto mining.
And best miners actually have multiple locations. that's how it should be. If you put all your miner in a huge warehouse with 10 floors and a disaster happens,
Sure.
well, good luck. So that's why, and also it's kind of a secret, you know. They cannot really say how much they have, how big they are, how exposed they are to the mining industry. But yeah, I would say, I mean, the future for mining in Switzerland is pretty good, especially for the regulation, I guess.
And what do you think is the payback for the rig? You know, how long does it take? Is it a year?
Well, I mean, I think a year is a fair estimate, but obviously it really does depend on how the market develops over the coming months. I think, with Swiss crypto mining, definitely, be careful of kind of the added costs, right? Make sure you have kind of, an idea of what you're paying after you buy the rig, right?
Electricity, hosting, etc.
And
also mining, as we say, if you cash out every day, you can try to target an estimation of how much you can make. But if you keep all the time you do right now in your pockets for 5 years and Ethereum is 10,000.
Yeah.
Mining will be way more
Yeah.
profitable to it.
Yeah.
So
For example, the thing with for example, the currencies that are usually the most profitable ones to mine in kind of short, medium term are usually the ones with very small market cap, and ones that just are kind of volatile. So this is where, you can make a very solid return for 3-4 days, but at the same time, obviously, if you keep the currency and still speculate on it, in the next week it could be worth nothing, right? So it's all about, how greedy are you really? Are you happy with getting 100% of your money back in the first year, or do you want to go for the 300 and potentially get nothing, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a trade-off.
Can I ask a question? It's a little bit out of the topic, but I was living in China before, and then when this shutdown of all the mining came, there were articles around that the central government is trying to issue their own country cryptocurrency. How do you see this movement could affect? Because actually there were a lot of reports that's the plan. That's why they don't want any longer to have miners in there, because they want really control everything and to issue their own legal country cryptocurrency.
Oh, so can I answer? This is a question about compliance, because they can say that it's illegal to trade any other currencies because there is no regulation, and this is alternative because of the SWIFT system in the world, about sanctions, about the politics. So the cryptocurrencies is an alternative basically, and there is a right that I think that Russia will do the same at some point, because Sberbank is interested to have one cryptocurrencies, and they just say anything else is just forbidden, illegal. You cannot trade this because you cannot go through compliance. So this is for China. This is what is standing behind this. It's not about technology. It's about the control.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
And this is what is my opinion about it. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I agree. I mean, for me, currency, keep in mind, is the only power the government have right now to control the population. You see US interest rates going up and down, that drives the market, that drives what you buy. Some people don't understand, they buy some chips, the inflation go there because of the currency, because of that. So if you remove this power from the governments, it will really, it will fight back at some point. That's what China is probably trying to do by creating crypto. But, I doubt, centralizing crypto is not really a solution here. So.
And I don't think it will ever work, because, it's like, think about the internet. Think about who owns the internet nowadays. Yeah, okay, we can debate about that, right?
No, but in China, for example, even though, let me share a little bit. Even though if China doesn't own the internet, they can control the population.
Exactly. There,
is a really minimum.
There, yes, but globally, I doubt that there will ever be a successful attempt at shutting this down as a global effort,
They are
out there, and they will try hard, I guess so. Look at what even South Korea, and they were, I think they were accounting for up to 40% of all the trades in cryptocurrencies, at least for Bitcoin and Ethereum, in the past 6 months. And now, of course, they're going after the investors and exchanges, so they're going to close down effective January the 30th. Now they have a date. I guess all the non-nominal crypto exchanges, and there's a lot there. So exchanges where people just register and they're not traceable back to them, because of course they're after the profits. They don't care about whether you trade Bitcoin or not. What they care is that you actually pay your fair share of taxes on the profits you make. And so we will see that Switzerland, this is going to become a topic everywhere, right? But I guess the real, for me, it's still, you said something very interesting before when you said, okay, you mine Ethereum, and you might bet on the fact that you collect enough Ethereum, and in 5 years that's going to be worth 10 times more. So I think that what we're seeing is more and more people, and that's the tokenization of also of assets and securities. The economy is changing, is transforming. We are still thinking a bit in terms of trading crypto for fiat. How many US dollars is a Bitcoin worth? But we should actually think, okay, in general terms, how much more value is going to have a Bitcoin or an Ethereum over the next years? Because we are not, I don't know if you guys are using that. Are you using any of the Bitcoin payments, for example? Are you using any of the crypto you own for daily payments of any kind?
For daily?
Yeah, like, I mean, okay, services or, no. In 5 years, this will change dramatically. So people will not, one of the guys, Thomas, is also going to be present more and more. I don't know if you remember Thomas, the first evening. And we are also, there's an idea, not just an idea, to have an ATM, a Bitcoin ATM machine over here, guys, quite soon in the next couple of months. And the details I'm not into because this is something that Urs is driving. But he's using Bitcoins on a daily basis. So the reason for him to join this group was, he said, I went to many meetups and people started talking about the crypto. And then I asked, do you have a wallet? He said, no, I don't even need to start. Are you okay? But I have my Bitcoins there, okay? And are you using them? No. So strange questions, but they are telling us where the future is going. The future is here, to be honest, or is very near. Do you have a wallet? You do, because you have invested recently. Does everybody here know what a wallet is? Yeah, I guess we are beyond that stage, right? Okay. Hardware wallet. Do you have a hardware wallet? Do you consider using one? Yain?
Maybe. And hardware, it's I don't see a big difference between just printing out a paper wallet from my Ether wallet and the Nano Ledger S. So Nano Ledger, they're providing a flash card to you, and you are using their wallet, their web interface, but it's more or less the same. If something will happen with this flash card, what you will do? No, well, you can recover, but
I agree with you.
I've got the new Trezor, so the Model T on order. It should come in the
big
next
one?
few weeks.
The bigger one?
It's a little one, but
okay.
it's souped up, so I'll bring it in.
Oh, please.
But it's interesting to look at it.
Yeah. And what's the...
Yeah.
What's
the options.
What's the advantages, for example, over... I've got the Nano S Ledger, right? And I completely agree with what you're saying. In fact, in the past weeks, I've been thinking, okay, you know what? If these things is burned, I don't know, I lose it. It goes... Okay, I have a way to recover the keys, that's not a problem, but it's not much different than having a paper key. So what's the advantage of having Trezor over this?
Yeah, I mean, you can print it out, cut it into pieces and distribute it somewhere safe. I mean, that's probably as safe as you'll get. I mean, the Trezor, I think it's probably more convenient in some respects, but is it safer? Not necessarily, but it's easier. And I think a lot of these devices, I mean, the Trezor wants to be a generic two-factor authentication tool, so you can use it for your passwords for your digital identity and so on. So it's more than just storing your private key. It'll be your identity, basically.
How would you say this, the hardware, is it a reliable flash card or?
I don't know, quite honestly. I mean, the Trezor, the Ledger,
because if you will constantly 10 times per day, will plug it in, plug it out, plug it in, plug it out. That's my question.
You're skeptical.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking how reliable it is. I would rather prefer to use maybe this Nano Ledger S or whatever the name is, rather my current method. Which I will not disclose. And yeah, but the question is, because time after time I'm using my Ethereum wallet, I don't know, 20 times per day, right? And my concern is about technical compatibility
Are you using a Nano S Ledger now?
No, me, no.
Have you seen one? I mean, have you ever used one?
Never.
This is it. Yeah.
May
Yeah,
I ask a stupid question?
There's no stupid question.
So,
okay,
why
so-
should I use that
USB.
instead of Coinbase, for example? Or what's the difference between?
Between Coinbase and well, this is not an exchange. So Coinbase is an exchange, and it's one of, honestly speaking, apart from the fees. Oh, you're interested in having a look? Just pass it around. I need to make a mark on it, but okay, it's. It's no, you didn't. Oh God, just a piece of plastic. No, I trust you
I'm sure it
guys.
was yellow, right?
Yeah. Well, I will check first. And I don't know. This Coinbase is an exchange, and it's very user friendly. It has a very high fees. I think one of the highest ranges of fees.
Yeah.
But they have proven to be very reliable. Also, from a customer support perspective, at least I started with Coinbase about 6 months ago. I'm not using them anymore, but I always recommend people who are starting to use them.
Okay.
This is a key.
But this is a key. So
the exchange, if you put your money in the exchange go down. You
Yeah.
kind of,
you lost everything.
yeah. You lose your access to your part of the blockchain, so you own your money.
You mean if Coinbase disappears?
Yes.
Yeah.
So effectively, if you keep your altcoin on any exchange, not just Coinbase,
Yeah.
any exchange, you don't own that wallet because they will never give you the private keys to access that wallet. If you know the concept of private keys. So what this is nothing else by that a coded, physically coded private key that enables me to access from anywhere my wallet. What you do with Coinbase is you enter your wallet using a password.
Yeah.
But they will never. And you can have in there as many wallets as you want, right? Because you can create 5 for Ethereum, 5 for Bitcoin. Each of them has a private key associated to that. So in case they shut down, and it's not impossible, unfortunately, you will most probably not be able to access your wallets again. View, yes, but transact, no.
Okay. So how do I get out my private key from Coinbase
What do you hold them? Ethereum?
Yeah.
Only Ethereum?
right now?
I would just go into my Ether wallet, create on I don't know what you think, guys, but my Ether wallet, and create a new wallet, and then you get to create a. It gives you your private key, and you print it out, and don't lose the piece of paper.
Yeah.
So,
or buy a
okay.
key.
Yeah.
But how do I get it from Coinbase
Oh, we
to
can-
my Ether wallet?
You
Does
Can
it
show
will
an
just
exercise.
you will just transfer it like in your e-banking.
Yes.
Yeah, but I have never done this.
Okay.
So that's how brand
It's
new I am
easy.
into this
Okay.
concept. So
Couple of clicks.
So yes,
So-
there's a
sorry.
there is a couple of ways that I'd recommend, and I won't go into Coinbase now, but it's quite easy because if you go into your account,
Yeah.
you should have access to all your different wallets, and from the wallet you can tell withdraw. Right? If you click on withdraw, a window will pop up, and the first thing it'll ask you is, okay, where do you want to withdraw it to?
Mhm.
And you will need to put in the destination in the form of an address, right?
Right.
Your other wallet. And if you don't have another wallet to use, you go here. It's as easy as just myetherwallet.com, enter a password, and you create your new wallet. I'm not doing it because I have plenty, but there's MetaMask you can use with Chrome. I've got Jax as well.
So
somewhere.
you mean to use to create the password? No?
Yeah, and you just enter a password. So it enables you to create a password, but that's false security, meaning that it's not just protected by a password. A private key will be generated, and without that private key, the password will anyway not let you get in there. The password will just, so let's pretend I create a new wallet here. It will save my key, my private key, here on the laptop in the form of a file that is encrypted, and so the only way to decrypt it is through the use of this password. But if you lose the file, you can discard the password because you need your private key to be able to access, right? And this is also the kind of probably some more. There's a lot of information you can find up there. Meaning, if you go on YouTube, you can check these things.
Okay.
I'm just wondering whether it's the case because many people are asking that we also create something here, but I see little value. But tell me if you have any problems. Try do that. If you have any problems, I mean, you can connect also with me in the meetup. And
Okay.
are you using Telegram?
No.
No. Okay. Telegram is a great. By the way, Telegram is about to launch their own ICO. So
Yeah,
just-
that would be hot.
They will be very, very big with a user base of over 200 million, right? And yeah, if you just go to Telegram, you download the application,
Yeah.
and it's an encrypted version of WhatsApp, and it's become already the standard in the crypto and ICO space. So whenever you see here, you can see here. I mean, these are the different ICOs I'm invested in, and one. I mean, I don't even follow anymore because there's just comments posted on a second basis. I mean,
I
people.
saw you had Envion on there.
Yes,
You think that's a good one?
I believe so.
Or you're not concerned that they have nothing
No.
besides the website?
No,
No, of course. I mean, the website's
No.
a big step for every.
no, no, no.
I mean, we have a website. Give me 50 million. Right?
Yes.
White paper, another 50 million. Is that's usually
Okay.
how the math goes, right?
I mean, guys, it's the concept, right?
This is what
So
It's true,
I've not seen them physically apart from. But by the way, Envion AG is also based here, so I'm planning on
Oh, there are lots of companies.
knocking. No, I know, but knock on the door. But since I am also based here, I mean, it's easy to just knock the door. See, Cuckoo, is there anybody? You know, and if there is just a bakery shop, then I'll probably be preoccupied.
If on the website they have email address, it's a big step also.
Have you studied their material? Have you studied their material? Have you studied their material? Because
the white paper, yeah.
the white paper. So I have to be honest. When I invested in them, I didn't go beyond the half of the white paper. I have to be honest.
So halfway, it's a big step as well.
Yeah, okay.
Technically, you
Halfway,
can
then the
understand
credit card.
Yeah.
comes out, you're like,
But you don't see. I mean, I didn't see the SAFE agreement first. I didn't see much. So yeah, it was kind of throwing money in blindly. So I've received my tokens now. They've been honestly, guys. I think it's also a combination of things. I like the idea of the product they have because it's not just based on speculation. It's really based on creating value. You're investing in mining, so they're doing exactly the same. And I have seen their legal compliance framework, and they have sent out to the investors a new one just a couple of days ago. And I went through that. It was very painful for me, and I hate those kind of things. But they did a great job. So if I read it, they wouldn't have spent that much time if it was a big hoax.
Well, 400 million, I can do it if you want.
Just to get
No, I would say where we need to be careful because obviously,
What can I tell you, Nicola?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They can be good, not, but it's just a FOMO.
That's a feeling,
You know
right?
the FOMO.
That's the yeah, no, fear of missing out. Exactly. There's how many people are spending a lot of money. So I'm sure I have this statistic that half of the ICOs I've invested in, I just threw my money at them. I know. How can you tell just based on how good their website is? It's an indication. If this website is crappy, if there's no white paper, if there's no Telegram link, go away. For immediately, if there's no Telegram, just go away. This is, yes, that's one of the first indicators. But there's going to be a lot of them, guys. I hope Envion is, at least judging on the material, it's one of the most complete material I've seen so far. So an investor deck is also very good. I mean, I've been investing in things in the past, not linked to this space, where they had half of the credibility linked to their business case on the way they presented it. And still, it was a nice investment. So based on that experience, I decided to blindly give my faith. But then also, I think that's the advantage of this, that people get understanding. You don't need necessarily to put all your eggs in one basket. You can really diversify. But I can tell you that I have also some examples, concrete examples, where I have invested in few ICOs, and their tokens are, speculations aside, after a couple of months, they're up 10, 20, 30 times. And this is big. I mean, it means that investing just as, and I'm just, I bought when Ethereum was 400, so we're talking about early November, October probably, and now it's 1,000. I have actually tenfolded that with one single coin. It's not bad. I don't have the kind of returns anywhere else.
No, this is the question when you will exit. Can you withdraw all your fiat money or not? And yeah, this is the question about what is bothering me, taxation here in Switzerland, right? So today I could have tokens worth 1 million,
Yeah.
but tomorrow it could be 1,000, and I don't want to pay my taxes for 1 million, which could cost 1,000 tomorrow. And you have, and actually you have to declare it as your asset
Yeah, you do.
already.
You do. Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about this like last night or something, that when you would like to withdraw and exchange it to fiat currency, you have to go through compliance again when you were transferring, and there is like no way that they
Question
will
of
say,
exit, it's a big question.
It is a big
You
question.
are a virtual millionaire.
It is a big question. Many people that I've heard of are actually splitting it throughout several exchanges, and I actually have only experience with Coinbase from that perspective, and so the sums that I have been withdrawing so far are minimal. And due to the fact that probably they were so low, I didn't have any problem whatsoever.
Did you succeed to withdraw from Coinbase?
From Coinbase,
To which
yes.
account? To Euro account?
From Euro, yes, to a Euro account, yes.
And
Coinbase, it's a US based.
Yeah, but whenever you also fund it, you actually send your money. I think they have in Estonia. They are based in Estonia, and they have a Euro account. So you fund it in euros.
So you can deposit in euro and you can withdraw in euro.
Yes, yes. Another one is you're in Switzerland, Swiss quote. I mean, you can deposit,
No, Swiss quote. It's a
but it's a bank
kind
on
of
top of the rest. On top of the rest.
kind
On top of the rest.
kind of bank.
A kind of bank. No, what
yeah,
I'm,
but in Switzerland, I think you up to the certain amount, they just don't bother, like 3,000 francs income, whatever.
Probably.
So
Probably.
this is also a question about the amounts that you are investing in order that maybe something will work out and I will get millions. And when we are getting to these questions, it's completely unclear for today. And also all these tokens that like have a very small market capitalization, but it's multiplied by 20, 30 times. It's only based on the pure speculation, because there is no market capitalization.
That is
so low now.
That is why.
So from one, like I don't know, cents to 30 cents.
Yeah,
it just
I
means
agree.
nothing
I mean,
at the moment.
and you've seen the pattern is of the pump and dump is clear, and you can see that on several tokens. Let me show you this because. By the way, I normally use these. I don't know how much you can trust their prediction, but the Wallet Investor claims to have their own machine learning powered.
Let's go through it. So, what are the predictions? Interesting.
This is the prediction over here, but before going there, I wanted to show you something else. I'll get back to this.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Okay, I don't need the Monero one now. So, Lend. Let's see how Lend is doing. Negative. Like hold the compart. So we'll see, right? So this is Lend. The company is it's been one of the first tokenization model for lending of money. Right, and the business use case is people without access to a bank account, Africa, many other parts of the world. They are given the chance to be lent Ethereum at very, very profitable rates for them. So the token was just launched end of November, and look at that, exactly as you said, right? I mean, this is in US dollars, 0.1. It goes up, went up till
What is
here,
the high?
0.4, and now it's trading at constantly about 16. But these guys have a product and they have a user base. So there's the aspect related to value, and you can tokenize everything, like the air you breathe, as I said at the beginning. Personally, I am investing in things that I like and then convince me that there is something behind that. I like these. Will that be? It's not a scam. Definitely not a scam. But the market capitalization is so low. I mean, look at that. It's about. It's not even trivial though, because it's been 170 million.
I understand you completely, because we met a project in one of the events called Everex. Have you heard about
Everex?
Everex.
No.
It's the same, absolutely. They do micro lending in Southeast Asia, in Thailand, for instance.
And this project actually very successful.
Yeah,
The
and this
guys
is a project,
really-
you know. They have a wallet, they have a product.
Mhm.
It's not white paper, it's working company, but they even just around break even. So they broke even a couple of weeks ago. Now
Mhm.
it's a price again decreasing. So I have even not doubled my investments. But this is the real.
Have you lost money with them?
No, I didn't lost anything, but my investment
Was not 10 times.
No, it's even, you know, I invested some amount of ethers,
Mhm.
right? And if I would just keep it, it will be more in ethers now
Mhm.
than Everex tokens.
But can I ask you? Of course, we're not talking about amounts, but what's your long side at the moment? So what's your plus on this position, on this specific investment? Or
In fiat, yes, I'm in plus. If I would like to withdraw, I would be in plus in comparison with
Like plus 10%, 20, 30?
No, 300%. Right.
So
No, but this is exactly, I'm comparing the crypto right
Yeah.
now. So 5 ethers is not worth the same amount which I bought Everex.
but so for you, it's
For
been
one
profitable, right? For you.
No, I think what he's saying is just in fiat,
In
he's
fiat,
making a good potential profit.
Yeah.
But as Ether went up a lot, maybe more than this one, in Ether, if one Ether was X Everex, now if you withdraw, it would be less in Ether.
But this is this is
It's
profitable.
really-
But that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. I
still
mean,
profit, yeah.
these numbers. I guess that now we're seeing people complaining because they only do 50% or 300%.
No, it's not. So you need just do the calculation. So I had ethers,
Mhm.
right? And if I would keep in ethers right now, I would be in plus. But as soon I converted ethers to Everex,
Mhm.
so my investment in Everex worth less than original ethers. So I'm in minus.
But you can find a way to turn it into plus. You told me, right? Because the fiat, if you convert it into fiat now,
No,
You'll
it's
be
not
plus.
the financial approach.
No.
I was investing in ethers. I was not investing in dollars.
okay.
You know.
So you're losing on this one
Yeah, we can say I'm in minus.
badly.
No,
No. So there is still, but so there is a product behind. How much?
I still hold. Even I'm not going to sell it because I do believe it's all about diversification.
Exactly. Agree with you. And to be honest with you, yesterday I had last week, just on these, I had a conversation with a person who was asking me advice for personal investment. We're not talking about a big sum, but a reasonable sum for somebody who wants to start, 10,000 euros. And I told this person, listen, you can invest on some other things that will give you 2-3%, whatever, and it would be reasonable for you to have them in a time frame of 1 year. Or what if I told you that you can get at least 10% in 3 months? And he said, it's not possible. I tell you, it's possible. So, and this was this week we had the dip of pretty much all the 20 cryptos, right? But Ethereum still standing. So
Yeah.
still after 3 days, I think since 3 days ago, Ethereum is up 15%, 20%. I don't remember now. So it also depends, as you said, when you enter, when you want to hold. I told her, listen, in 3 days, you've got 15% out of this. What do you want to do? Do you want to, I cannot give you any promise. Maybe tomorrow it's minus 50%. But I am a believer for the longer term, also on the tokenization of services and assets. But as you say, you need to diversify. I've got positions where I'm negative, but overall, I looked on the Sunday at where I am since I started with that, and I'm up. I mean, but just compare. I'm not comparing the Ether. I'm comparing really how much I invested in fiat to counter value now in fiat, and I'm up 400%. So this is for me. I'm a big believer in this so far. Of course, tomorrow everything crashes, but I'm not. I'm also a believer in the technical aspects of it, right? I think that people who are doing this, like Warren Buffett say, if you're panicking when your investments plunge 50%, then you shouldn't invest. And he said about Wall Street, right? I guess the people here, you have conscience of that, of course, and you are trusting the model of the blockchain, whatever is behind that. I'm a big believer of the mission. Apart from the profiting aspect, the profit is a nice thing that we're doing, because honestly, I'm interested in the technology. I am now interested more as well in profiting out of it. So from an investment perspective, I don't know.
What I hear, there is like a mix of the topics that you are talking about and putting in the one basket. First, it's a high risk investment. If you're talking about 2-3%, it's guaranteed. You have to tell these guys this is high risk investment, so invest only money that you're not reliable on.
This is true for any investment. This is true of any investment.
Second is one day you can pay with this token some services. We are still not there when you really can go to the market, pay your rent, pay your I don't know, stuff. Even if you keep there, nothing happen, but somehow you can utilize it without coming back to fiat currency. Sure. And one more question that no one talking about as a technology is still not perfect. Because it's all crypto, there's blockchain, it's lots of questions about consensus, how this to do, and then one day it can just have a bug, and then you have nothing.
But I mean, honestly, let me ask you this, right? Because it's all true what you're saying, and there's a little denial. And I'm not here to steer the direction. This is an open forum and an open. We're all grown-ups. We're investing for our own reasons. You may believe in the token model or not. I'm a strong believer in that. And I compare to what's been passing in front of me when Amazon started selling books online and the internet was just starting. For me, this is where we are back when the internet was starting. So in 5 years, I agree with you. Today, the tokens, we cannot do pretty much anything other than going on their platforms that are emitting the tokens and using them there. But in 5 years, I am sure that people will use tokens for a lot of different things. And then we'll be talking about a different ball game. Then the value will be very different as well. Today, it's kind of a bet. Yes, it's a very high risk. But I think it's, as much as I can tell my feeling person, that's why I'm doing it. I feel for myself it's a kind of a safe bet. I'm betting it knowing that it will, some will lose, some will gain. But all in all, I think that my personal investments will grow considerably in the next 5 years in terms of value.
Why should you use tokens instead of money? Franken or Swedish kronor or dollars? Why?
Yes, it's the first door to the left, beyond the exit. So don't go on the exit. You'll find out.
So why should you do that? Because I know the Swedish bank is now having plans to invest in electronic krona.
I'll give you an example, right? Because it's not. This is here now the question about also the technology behind that. Yeah. So the big revolution brought into the crypto space and in the investing was the blockchain. The blockchain was the first materialization of the theory. You mentioned consensus, right? The big problems of making sure that you can have a decentralized network where people can collectively decide what's valid, what's not valid. And Bitcoin was the first physical creation of that. People are using Bitcoin today like gold as a store of value. Ethereum came after that. Ethereum brings on a whole lot of different concepts about smart contracts. And it's not that much the token that is important, but the smart contract possibilities. Kodak, Eastman Kodak, company who was on the bankruptcy, I think they actually filed for bankruptcy about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. If you've been following recently, they announced that they're going to launch their own blockchain-backed, Ethereum-backed blockchain platform, and Kodak Coin, I think they're going to call them. And the use case, I think that's where the important thing is very cool. So they are going to offer access, I think the access is going to be for free, I'm not even sure, right? To any creator of digital content, imaging content, graphical content. And the blockchain guarantees that for every use of that content, the creators are going to get paid, thanks to the smart contract. And they are going to be paid, so Kodak is saying, if you want to have access to that, you will need to purchase my coins to use it. Right? You can argue, and that's part of the Ethereum blockchain. You can use any coin. I mean, you could create a coin there that is called US dollar, but it will not be the real US dollar. And that will be regulated in a completely different way. Right? So you can do that, definitely. But the concept is that everything is going to be automated.
If Apple introduce their own coin,
yeah,
the value of the Kodak coin goes to zero straight away.
Why?
Because everyone uses Apple phones. I mean, you could
you
could potentially monetize your own.
But you can monetize everything, Matt. I mean, and I'm not saying no, but Kodak is creating their own. I think they have a very solid use case, right?
But
Apple
not, there's no barrier to entry. Anyone could do the same.
Anyone could do the same.
So
Anyone
Apple
could do
it. Google could do it, and they would be
yes, they could do the same. And Kodak is not the first one doing it. There's a number of companies now having hundreds of thousands of customers in this space. You fine? You okay? Yeah. Guys, normally we end at 9. Just so that you know.
I just want to add on, you mentioned Warren Buffett before, right? One of my big heroes, to be fair, and obviously, he always misses the bubble, right? And, beginning of 2000, when everyone was very internet is going to be the next big thing,
yeah.
It's all going up. I mean, statistically, actually, new industries have been one of the worst long-term investments, right? You look at the car industry, look at the plane industry, right? You look at the internet industry, out of 100 companies that were there, there's maybe 2 left now, 1, right?
And still, we are there saying the ones that were there at the very beginning became billionaires.
Fair enough.
Not all of them.
A lot of people lost money, right?
Sure.
I mean, where,
sure.
I think it's an interesting thing where you say, okay, well, there's investing and there's crypto investing, where I don't really see the difference, right? Ultimately, investing is just about risk, reward, right? And, okay, crypto has a bigger reward, bigger risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can invest in shares on leverage and I can achieve the same thing, right? And speculate the same
Pretty
amount.
much, yeah.
So what makes you feel safer investing in, let's say, blockchain things that, okay, without leverage, but you have that, 300% upside, 100% downside. What's the difference for you for doing that? Or
I can give you my own perspective, right? And then my perspective is as valid as yours. But my perspective is, and I am no trader. So you guys are working and have probably worked for years as traders. You tell me that sentiment is what, at the end of the day, is driving things to go up and down. At the moment, there is a very strong sentiment from people. And that's why I am personally, individually, very bullish in this topic. And I think it'll just grow in every respect. It will be, of course, it'll be heavily regulated. 2018 we'll see a lot of regulation coming in. That will mean that that'll offset a lot of these crazy gains that we have seen, but it'll take time. So I'm also a believer of the early investing. That's why I am personally picking up and something, you can call it a system, whatever. I have my own criteria when I go through an ICO and select, you know what, I like it. I believe in it. Envion, and I was not the only one, because I think they're claiming to be the sixth highest. However you rate success, they call themselves the sixth most successful, raising 100 million US dollar in fiat. They could be a total scam, or they could not be a scam. They might really have something tangible, and then that doesn't fly, because they have now agreements with the energy companies like Enel, for example, at the global level. And maybe Enel in 1 year tells them, the guys, you know what, we need to readjust our rate because of this, and that. And then the model is not profitable anymore. And then the tokens are just there. Or it could be, like I'm hoping, that more and more people will buy into the token. They will scale their mining rigs because that's their business. And the token will just grow in value because it's like a share of the company. They are not using it to exchange. I'm not using the token of Envion to purchase any service. It gives me ownership.
But I'm scared of the fact that cryptocurrencies are right now crypto commodities. People, I mean, maybe you have some Ether, you believe in Ether, so I guess you keep them as an Ether, right? You keep them in your wallet for in 20 years. How many people in the market right now
are doing it?
Create a portfolio,
yeah,
hold the Ether,
agree,
lose them or hold them, but
yeah.
that's withdraw the nature of the cryptocurrency, which is an exchange. So down the line, that can damage the whole blockchain by everybody keep like gold, you know? Gold back in the day was used to make some exchange. Then we obviously had Bretton Woods agreements, etc., and no more gold. Now it's US dollar.
Yeah.
And gold became more a commodity,
yeah.
right? But I feel right now it's crypto commodity more than currency.
Great.
Because people are like, oh, how hold my Ether for 20 years from now? Yeah, but how many people do that now?
And the people who have done that in the past 2 years have made lots of money.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
So, and there's no sign that it'll stop. It could stop tomorrow, for all I know. I don't believe it will. And then, again, for me, it's a matter of trust in what's behind that as well. It's really more the concept, like democratization. And I have some specific use cases. I'm working for a healthcare company, right? Even before taking in the side of investing in crypto because we want to make money. So I've been speaking to IBM very recently, and as you know, IBM as a big technology company, they're also developing, if it makes sense, their own, not their own blockchain, but they're participating in a consortium to provide regulation for the regulated use of a blockchain, right? So one of the use cases that I was presented from the pharma industry, it was a very cool one, a real one, where they were demonstrating how people in the third world countries, and again talking about Africa, right, where we have problems with serious illnesses like AIDS, tuberculosis. Well, these guys were being frauded because they were not given test stickers for AIDS. So it's like one, you use it once and of course it's gone. And it's only valid for that kind of affliction. So if you need to know whether you or any person you know has AIDS, you use that and only that. Use another one for tuberculosis. So these guys, a lot of people in Africa, in Sudan actually, they were scammed because somebody else was actually sending to the country counterfeited testers, stickers. And so they were proving how people, incredible, I don't know if that's common knowledge, that's probably not, but in many countries in Africa, there's more people having a mobile phone than having a bank account, right? There's a lot of people having a mobile phone, and they're exchanging messages. So imagine these people not having access to a bank or to other primary services, but still having a mobile phone. That's incredible. They could actually get the confirmation directly there, and then that the tester that they have is genuine and can be used for that. You know that people have died because they said, okay, this is AIDS. Oh, fine. I don't have anything, or tuberculosis, and then actually they were ill because they were being... So I'm a strong believer that these can be benefit for a lot of people. And this is just one use case. Then, of course, IP protection is the second in line. We talked about Kodak. I've come across I don't know if you've heard about Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, have a look at it. it's very interesting, and it's how to protect the knowledge and how to give. I know there's the whole topic about fake news. This morning I was in Zurich attending a Gartner event. I don't know if all of you know who Gartner is. Gartner is one of the most reputed advisors for technology, and they advise any kind of industry nowadays, right? And they always come up with their top 10 predictions. Every year they come up with their top 10 predictions for the next 5 years in terms of how the society will change, in terms of how the technology will change. Not difficult to guess. Blockchain was there, right? And I think I even shared it. I even shared something in the value, but that was not the interesting part. One of their predictions was in the fact that fake news, and this is an easy prediction for me, but fake news will become so prominent in the next 5 years that a lot of the computational power that we have now and that will be created will be of artificial intelligence, machine learning, will be dedicated to either create or create fake news, or understand whether some news, some piece of content is fake or not, right? So Gilgamesh, this guy, has created a very nice white paper, by the way. So go have a look at this site. I'm not having any stake in that. But I'm invested, very, very, very small investment.
Yeah.
Yeah, in how to produce. No, I can give him a ref link. No. How to protect knowledge, but how to reward people who create good knowledge, and how to penalize that people produce bad, fake news or knowledge. There is a. I think that we are going to see things in 5 years that I have definitely not even thought about, because there will be many things. So I believe in that. Will that be a scam? Will they have any user? They have a platform. Is he using that himself? He is. How many people will be using that in 1 year? I don't know. I need to trust that they will dedicate their money, as they say, to marketing activities for 25% out of the hard cap they will receive. And then it's an investment. I mean, I want to treat it. It would be unfair for me to say that there is not the fun part, right? The thrill of the investment, and there is that as well. I think I don't know where you stand with it. How your portfolio? I am diversifying. I'm not abandoning stocks. I'm not abandoning other assets. But cautiously, I want to make it a more prominent part. If that reveals itself, 2018 for me personally, for my strategy, will be the defining year. So in 6 months, I want to be able to say, you know what, do I need to rework my strategy heavily, or do I want to wait another 6 months to see where it brought me? Because I have invested what's for me in a reasonable way, but a considerable amount on this. So of course I want it goes well, and I'm advising. I'm not advising anybody here, right? I'm not an advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. But when people ask me, I tell them what I'm doing. And I guess you are in this conversation because you also have a bullish view. I'm not a regulator, but there will be need for regulation. I am not a blockchain expert, but there's a lot around here as well. And that's why, apart from the investment itself, the conversations that we're having at all levels, with you on the wallets, with you on the strategy investments, and mining, these are all things that can bring people together. I can bet if you go to the canton now and you have these conversations in the capital of the crypto valley, half the people will just look at you and saying, "These guys, should we call the police? They're talking about mining."
No,
Well, all of them speak about
already
it.
aware about this, and it was a 6 months ago panel discussion with Crypto Valley about Silicon Valley, Crypto
Sure.
Valley,
And they launched the
some
first
authorities
ever.
there.
Yeah, I know, but you also next time if you're here and Urs is here, ask him how his meeting last week with the finance director of Zug went. They have not really a clue on how they're going to go about regulating and making a sense of all this. They know that there is a lot of money. Of course they do.
But it's a very complicated question
Of
to
course.
discuss it right now, because it's like
But they need to start.
Okay, it's not that it's not interesting, and Canton is supporting and everything, but it's like really lots of questions to be discussed.
Yeah.
it's not that the financial manager see you and say, yeah, sounds interesting, because he heard it also during 2 years already. Lots of projects with all initiatives, all the companies who are coming here, creating workplaces, how to organize it, and
Sure.
it's
And they will need more and more support also to help them with this. So I'm convinced about that. So the more there is a tissue of people, resources that can help them do that, the better it is for them, and for those who are going to create these initiatives. So next time, honestly, if you're going to join, I would like also Urs to spend a few minutes talking about his experiences and what he's doing in this space, because I'm also only seeing a part of it, right? And to be honest, I have just started being part of this group, and so excited that I've asked to help, and I'm helping. So, and also you guys, I mean, you're having a vested interest in this from your own personal perspective or company's perspective. If you think that, you know, the conversations can be steered in a way in terms of creating new opportunities, creating new events, there are conversations, very serious conversations about creating an advisory board that some people of this group, including me, will be included in. So it's a very interesting space. That's also why I am very excited about the whole story. Not just because I've invested some money in it, but because I can really see. I mean, it's really exciting in many fronts. And personally, I feel like, you know, I've been doing some other work for the last 10 years, completely different, not related to blockchain. I feel I'm excited again. I'm really excited again about doing something in this space. So I need to believe it will work.
I'm sorry, we arrived a little bit late, so we missed the part. What are you doing right now?
So first of all, I'm co-hosting this meetup. I'm not doing this as a day job.
Okay.
I'm with you. I'm working. I have another work. I'm working in Johnson & Johnson. So I'm on LinkedIn, so you can go check my profile. Nothing to hide. But here, so there is a guy you will probably meet next time if you keep coming regularly, Mark, who actually created this meetup. And Mark is launching his ICO for his own company in Zug. And I got connected, of course, through Meetup. And he needed help. So I'm here helping. And then there is the connection with Urs. Urs is the owner of this crowd space. There is you haven't seen it, but there is another half of this building where there's smaller offices that are being rented out. And the objective of Urs was to somehow combine this activity of his and this space that he had available and his connections to the crypto opportunities. So, and he started seeing ICOs, he started seeing Ethereum, he started seeing these. So bringing, you know, jotting the dots down and bringing them together, talking to Mark, then talking with me, talking to other people. And he's a very well-connected person. He's also aware of the Lakeside Partners. Of course, they are coming from a different league and probably also a different league of investors. I don't know. But we believe there is a lot of conversation that we can easily start with people and some institutions in providing some awareness. And possibly even more than just awareness. Probably also factive support when it comes to developing ICOs. This is the parallel goal that we're working in the background on, connected to this. So tomorrow there's going to be a meetup here with entrepreneurs. So some of you are entrepreneurs. I guess that we all here around the table have a level of entrepreneurship, even though I am not a full-time entrepreneur, right? But there's people coming here that will come sharing their, like this, an open conversation, right? And maybe they're challenged. Maybe they're going to say, you know, I want to launch this coin. I was thinking about launching this platform based on Ethereum because the blockchain is so cool with the smart contracts that I know I can regulate the sale of banana in Vietnam. Right, maybe that's not a good idea. You know, they have this panel, and many of these people will be people who have great ideas, but do not know how to get things done.
Yeah.
And that's the opportunity. This is in a nutshell. But we're going to create events. So this at the moment
Is it under the same group? This meetup for tomorrow?
No, there is a different group. There is a different group. It's called Crypto Entrepreneurs Zug.
Okay.
I
So
believe.
it will be happen tomorrow here.
Yes.
Should I sign up or I can pop up?
Sure. I mean, if you sign up, it's nice for people who are
Yeah.
hosting it to say, okay, I know who's coming.
Mhm.
But then it's never a rule. I know that there's people sign up and
Yeah, I
they're
will.
never going.
I will look for it tomorrow
Definitely.
at 7.
At 7. At 7. I won't be here because I will be in Zurich attending an event. I'll share it on the Telegram group. There is a nice event in Hartbrücke about what we're discussing. And it's a bigger event. It's sort of a 2 hours conference. I'm going to be there at 6, but I'll publish the link. I don't remember who organized that, but it's going to be very nice.
Is there a book, Crypto for Dummies?
I believe there might be something, but I think there's little you cannot find on YouTube. That's why
There's
I'm.
no book.
Yeah.
Only YouTube. You just
Yeah.
start them. Because it
Because
goes back to earlier than 2016
Oh,
September.
before I forget it.
Yeah, that's
So everything after 2016 September, when they started to post some articles on the internet and some videos on YouTube, starting explaining what is a blockchain and how it works, and I believe that it's like full of everyone talking about the topic more or less
Okay.
knowing the subject.
So Mark could not join us tonight because he's in London. He's one of the co-creators of the Crypto Traders London meetup, and that's where he is now. We'll see, but he should be back tomorrow. But watch out for some messages on the Telegram group regarding the entrepreneurs. So it's very nice to have these conversations. I have to tell you, because around the table with people coming from different trades, also of life, of business, with different beliefs in why they're doing it.
Coming back to predictions.
Sure. If you can trust them, I don't know, but let me refresh that. Yeah.
I'm interested to hear.
Just went up 10%, right?
They have a whole page where they're explaining how they go about forecasting. Of course, they don't tell you the nuts and bolts, but they claim that
Usually people that are good at forecasting invest themselves and not really
Sharing.
It's just a
most probably,
kind of idea,
most
right?
probably.
So what is the ultimate goal? So what
No,
is
I
the
can
prediction?
tell you how to read it. 50-50.
Maybe,
How
maybe,
much,
maybe.
how much and by when?
Buy when it's low, sell when it's high.
What is the prediction?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just stopped here.
What is that?
This is the Ethereum.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
And they just tell you this-
short term. What does the short
Well,
term?
that's-
Is it by
everybody would say that.
and
or
and,
try.
and by
He
when?
said that.
By which day?
You know,
Like
1
year forecast 2000, 5 year forecast
Yeah.
580.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what it's based on.
No, Mark's done.
They'll never tell you. But have a look if you're interested.
The smart
I think it's one of the bells. You know, there's many predictions out there.
Oh, yeah.
One more is probably one more piece of information that can help make an educated guess.
Actually, there is a book.
I think that there is really no way to predict where this will go.
No, there is no way. But well, if if internet will survive and if the blockchain technology will survive, so in 5 years, 5,000 easy. If someone will happen, so if they will tighten the regulation or will ban it completely because of the fear of terrorism, or I don't know, they could
Yeah.
find the reason.
Yeah.
So if it will survive, or more or less the same level, maybe more regulated. So that's for sure. I'm pretty sure. In 5 years, definitely. But probably earlier.
It's like really
If they will ban
very
the whole thing,
especially at
crypto
first,
anarchy,
you should know
let's
that
say so.
there's
Mm.
lots of
It will go
stories
to,
in such a small
I don't know,
canton.
$10.
One of my best friends that I grew up with, his dad.
It's so have a look. Walletinvestor.com. Anyway, I look at this, but I also look at the market. And of course, I shouldn't tell you that CoinMarketCap
full month
is not fully reliable, like none of these is, even when showing the current market cap. So let's have a look. What do you think about the most recent dip? Then let's go into the nuts and bolts of from a trading perspective. You guys, what do you think in terms of the top? Let's say the top. Well, let's talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum for a moment, because I know how much of you are into the others.
No, Ripple, we can discuss Ripple as well, very hot topic.
What do you think about Ripple?
My concern is if they're promoting it as a banking product, right? Purely banking product. So they should be interested in more stable currency, right? And this rapid increase is not in their interest, in my opinion. It shouldn't be like that. So they should be able to predict easily how much it will cost, because if somebody will use it for money transferring, right? It shouldn't be so volatile. Either it will be constant 25 cents or maybe $1 or 3, but yeah, this is the thing.
Is everybody aware about Ripple, what they do, why is it so different from the Bitcoins and Ethereums, and at large the concept of the decentralized
created by
chain?
the main banks, like 16 main banks.
It's a company. Ripple is a company, and they created these. You were spot on, Paolo. One of the first. They had a three-stage approach. There is another article, I think it's very well known, that tells about the Ripple strategy. They didn't want to create any currency. What they wanted to do is to provide a means for banks to actually perform lightning fast transactions for very low to zero, whatever, the usual claim, right? Fees. How it ended up being, and I think the founders they own the company. Ripple, they own the company, they own the token, they own the network on which they have it run. And so it's a completely different approach than Bitcoin. Because if they tomorrow decide to switch it off, I mean, they have absolute control over it. Plus they own 40%, more than 40% of the tokens themselves. So that was the first step that they had, to actually offer services to the banks. Right? Have you heard about the recent fake announcement, apparently, or not full announcement about the collaboration with MoneyGram? Yeah. So, and MoneyGram had a statement back saying, no, we just talked probably once. We had a coffee chat about Ripple, whatever. You need to believe them, right? But there's a lot of talk. I am invested in Ripple just for a simple reason, personally, that I think. And I'm not analytic in this, but I just think that the top 10 are still going to bring in some results. So is that a good approach? Probably as good as a purely analytical approach at this point in time. I don't know.
I see EOS. Which rating is it? Wallet Investor. Okay. EOS number 5. That's tricky thing about EOS. Yeah, I could discuss it as well, because
the Chinese one, right?
EOS. No, it's not purely Chinese. So it's also kind of decentralized platform for applications, for dApps, right? And the thing is, there is a still ongoing ICO. The ICO is for 1 year, started in June 2017 until June this year, right? And every day they're issuing new tokens. In return of collected ethers, right? And this is the thing. I'm wondering, and in the same time, you can buy it already on the exchanges. And
so this is available supply, right? It's so. Do you know? Is it mineable? Meaning, or is there a finite?
No, it's not. Every day they're issuing 2 million.
They're issuing 2 million every day.
2 million,
okay.
Right? And the thing is, if there is a certain price on the exchange, right? And if the price will go up, if the price is going up, right? And but in the same time, they should collect every day in order to keep this price at least the same level as the day before, right? But when the price was, let's say, $5, they have collected, I don't know, 1,000 ethers.
Mm-hmm.
But now they have to collect 3,000 ethers every day, right? Where all these ethers are coming from? Who are investing? Because I do believe you can do fundraising for a month, but for the whole year, did you get my point? So that they have to find somewhere the source of that. I don't believe that's people having the opportunity to buy it on exchange, but in the same time, because what they're thinking to do, they can buy tokens in the ICO in order to sell it immediately with a higher price on exchange, right? And in the same time, it should be balanced, right? Because if there will be in some certain point of time, it could be very big difference between current market price and what they have collected on the website, right? So in order to support this price, they have collect every day more and more and more and more and more. And it's already, the capitalization is how much?
8 billion.
Billions. So much money. Who they are.
Are you invested in EOS?
I did some trading stuff, but I didn't participate in ICO on the website. I just, I don't know, bought and sell it with the higher price once. And now I'm just waiting, actually, just the point I have an order on the exchange. So I'm just waiting the dip to buy it, I don't know, 2 times cheaper, right? Because now, but I don't understand where they are going, where they are taking all this support. It's a huge amount of money. Either somebody already have it and just baking them up, right? So investing every day in order to support them. I'm pretty sure there should be some manipulation because it's too much. It's too much flowing every day on a regular basis in order to support the market price.
Is that really important to know? Meaning,
it's important to know. Of course, it's important to know.
From a trading perspective, though, I mean, your strategy wouldn't change, right? You'll still buy low and sell high. So what you're interested in is that there is dips.
I'm interested to understand when the support will finish in order to buy cheap.
Then observe the market. I don't want to answer. I think half of the honestly, I don't know enough about this one specifically. I'm not able to tell you anything more than what you said.
Oh, okay, just
no, but it's I mean,
a remark.
I guess the people, and it is a good remark because I guess people don't really, many people, not everything, not everybody, of course, but they don't really care about what's behind that. Is that a token? Is that a coin? Is there smart contracts? What's the use case? So that's why this is called also crypto traders, because there's a lot of people investing money without caring. There are returns. So EOS, well, look at that nice line. I think it's going up. Your prediction is as good as mine, but I think in 6 months it will be up, right?
If it's going up, if it will be twice higher than now, ICO is still going for 5 months.
Wow.
That means somebody should every day donate so much in order to support higher and higher and higher price. Otherwise,
let's have a look. I don't really know about EOS.
No, let's discuss something.
No, I want to have a look at the. I'm curious to see because maybe there is an easy answer, right?
It's better to go to another website, not the. This is the where ICO is going, right?
Okay.
You can see the progress. Let's see. I will tell you which one in a second.
Explore EOS, blah 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 blah.
Yeah. Here's it. You see current distribution. So 2 million every day.
Okay.
So current period ends in 16 minutes, right? So. Do you see how much they received? Go now to something like eosscan.io. Right.
Like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is so. Go down. Go down, even down, more. You will see the periods. You see? So this is a look at the names of the columns. So contributed ETH.
So
Yeah, and now.
this is the last one, right?
Yeah,
217.
now go to this line 217. Just go down.
But this is the one.
No, go down. This is every day. You see it.
But this is the 217. This is here,
Yeah.
right?
But we will see the whole statistic before. Stop. Go up. Yeah, you see what's going on. So they should to collect.
They should collect an average of 20,000, right?
Exactly. And but just a month ago, they should be collecting only less, considerably less. Or,
About 10,000.
yeah, you see?
So it's growing.
Yeah, it's growing. So you know what I mean. So they should to collect every day more and more and more and more.
I guess. What is the use case for these? I mean, what is behind EOS? What are they used for? I mean, is there?
It's a kind of Ethereum network 2.0, right? So it's for decentralized applications. They are kind of building a computer, decentralized computer, so something more like a operation system. If in Ethereum you can deploy only smart contracts, a very simple one, very generic one. So that should be something more sophisticated.
I don't know enough. And you're saying that as soon as
you see what will happen. For instance, if this period will end right now here.
Yeah.
So the price of this day will be 50 cents, which mean that the people who invested in this day will receive it at 50 cents and immediately can sell it for $17.
Yeah.
So in order to prevent it, they have to collect every day more or less same amount.
The same amount. Mm-hmm. But this is also good then, right? So what happens if at the end of the day the 2 millions are not bought? They are
no, every day is 2 millions. So they will.
But they are
divide.
issuing. They are issuing
yeah.
the 2 millions. But let's pretend that they are not managing to sell, right? Because they are issuing that somebody should buy them. With this model, going back to the other side, with RCO, I can get the token 0, right?
No. The price depends on the number of collected ethers. Just the whole total lump sum will be divided by 2 millions.
Okay.
Every day 2 millions token.
But how can it be on the same value then? Or, as you say, there must be someone behind who is supporting it, right?
I don't know.
So the price you get when investing in this period now is basically determined based on the amount raised within the period, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why you are waiting for a crack on the exchange as soon as they don't reach the
Yeah,
period.
kind of.
People going to sell from that period.
Yeah, and of course the price on exchanges correlated to
the previous periods.
No, not to the previous and the actual period, right? So in the we can, that's funny. And the thing is, you see, currently they collected only 860 ethers, which gives us 50 cents price, but current market price is $17.
Yeah.
So that means so within these 16 minutes, somebody is waiting to flood remaining ethers, and it's every evening it's like that. I'm not observing every evening, but I don't know.
So this is good for day trading?
For day trading.
Not that I am, but
No, for day trading, I don't think so. There's not much difference with something else. It's an interesting model of ICO. You know, the whole year divided by everyday period.
it's there's all sorts of things. That's also kind of cool. I mean, if you want to, another very hot one is IOTA now.
Yes.
Again, it's something that I am.
Is it there in a 10?
I think it's been kicked down. It's been kicked down. Where is it? Yeah. No.
What's the ranking? How do you feel going? What's the ranking based on?
That's based on the market cap. This is market cap. It's been going considerably down, but still, no.
So it's so.
No, this is.
In a coin market comparison should be.
Let's go in
the
coin
same
market.
rate.
Let's go in coin market because I think this is not.
No, it's something else. It's
I agree.
That's why I was surprised to see EOS here.
Well,
Good.
Yeah, but not number 5. It's capitalization. It should be everywhere, more or less.
IOTA 6 billion. Monero 13. That's going to be a good one, Monero.
Yeah, so Bitcoin is losing the dominating position. In my opinion, Ethereum, it's a very convenient currency. So for crowdfunding, things like that. Ripple for decentralization is also good to have it in your portfolio.
What about this manipulation? Why is Bitcoin and Ethereum always moving in the same way? How come?
I think that if you observe the majority of the altcoins will probably some way reflect the Bitcoin.
6 months ago, it was all of them the same. So Bitcoin up, Ether up.
Yeah.
But now it's not that correlated.
No.
Because if you look at Coinbase, they have Litecoin
and Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, they all move exactly in the same way.
You know what happened as well when they launched? So Litecoin so far has been failing a lot of expectations in terms of value, right? I'm not talking about in terms of use. Litecoin is a. Are you familiar with the term fork? I mean, several of these coins are actually still belonging to the technological foundation of Bitcoin. Litecoin is just where somebody decided that the Bitcoin network at that point in time was not good enough for whatever reason, and they needed to create some other thing. So they are all, many of them, that's also why there is this correlation. But Coinbase was, they manipulated a lot of price, and that also, it happened when they started trading Litecoin. The moment they started trading Litecoin, a lot of people, a lot of investors just started buying Litecoin. And you could see in the week after they launched Litecoin, Litecoin went up. Went up to 280 from 150. Now I think they're in the, let's have a look, 180 again. So there is a manipulation also due to the fact that some exchanges can manipulate. I mean, look at what the South Korean ones have done with Bitcoin. They've been keeping it up and up and up and up. I think they are manipulating. They are trading more than 40% still today in South Korea on those exchanges.
I think we have to go.
Yeah, we're actually, guys. We're closing. I think it's 9 p.m. It's been good to have you here. Thank you for joining. Thank you very much.
3 hours just flew.
I appreciated the conversation. Really, it's. Or at least it was so short. It felt like 3, but you know, it's good.
Let's call it 5. Fake news. It's a Trump.
No, never hinted at any fake news.
I think I will try to bring my technical guy next time to discuss our particular project. So yeah, we are just looking for opportunity. You know, really, I see it in two ways. So because we don't have money just to start the company, so is it? Personally, I'm looking for an option to raise these funds legally, convert it to fiat in order to start the company for a normal ICO. This is the thing.
Okay, and I think honestly, this is going to be potentially linked to the other conversations with Urs and Mark. So it'd be very interesting. Definitely, I'll let you know about the entrepreneurs meetup. But apart from the meetup, okay, you're based in Zurich, but I mean, we're so close, we can establish the connection anytime.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, this meetup is as much mine as it is for the people who find value in it. I know that there's a different expectation, so you're always very welcome to say, listen, why don't we talk about, I don't know, this ICO next time? Why don't we talk about Ripple next time? Why don't we talk, I have my idea, why shouldn't we talk about that? Okay, for that perhaps the other meetup would be more appropriate because there is a tissue of entrepreneurs that are going to be brought together. But guys, please help influence this. I'm really convinced, having been to a couple of Crypto Valley meetups, that there is something different needed.
Yeah, there's definitely different, but I can tell you that's if and when we continue in that way, so these meetups will grow up dramatically, like it was with the Crypto Valley.
Yes.
Can you host here 50 people?
I wouldn't do it here, but this space could still be used to create.
I mean, it's nice to have this conversation. It's really cool because more of the opinion exchange and more personal.
Yeah.
But it can not burst, but grow like a crypto.
Let's wait until we are victims of our own success. I really hope to see that.
ICO, right? You know?
ICO.
Well,
ICO, right?
This is, but we're
You need a token to participate.
we're tokenizing our time. Yeah.
Token to participate.
Of course,
Right.
right.
Do you mind, guys, if I take a picture and post it on the group?
Sure.
Be part of it.
Where are you? Where are you all? You all visible? Are you hiding, Matt? 1 and 2, and then I'll link it. Guys, thank you very much. Thanks for the conversation. Thank you for your time.
Thank
I hope to see you next time as well. Every Wednesday, 7 p.m. If you cannot make it, please also have a look at the Telegram channel. It's going to be, I'll publish it on the meetup group. And if you have questions regarding any aspect, just ask.
Okay. Let's say I want to engage myself in this.
Yeah.
I've been in medical devices already very much in my life.
Yeah.
I want to combine.
I understand what you're saying.
What's your recommendation? How should I do it? Because I even would start working in a company dealing with this. How could I do that?
Let's set the conversation, and, because I'm through the same journey.
Okay,
I'm
interesting.
through the same journey.
Okay.
Working for Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, okay. I've been just working for Roche, but I'm not working there anymore.
So I have to be honest. In 1 year from now, I want to focus myself on these topics 100%. So the foundation is, I think, the tissue with Urs and the others that we're creating. There's going to be need for advisories. So the advisory board as well, I guess we're going to chime in and people and tap into their expertise, because if we want to provide an advisory board, there's going to be people coming here with ideas on how to tokenize
because actually I'm in contact with another company in Neuchâtel, and we're raising money now, but we want to do it with tokens also.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm just trying to think, how should we do this?
So you're going to be on the customer side, definitely. be here if you can again next week at 7. And we definitely will have a conversation also with Urs about this, because I think it's now the time that we start enlarging ourselves into understanding how to combine these two things. Because it's just so natural. We start talking with people about crypto trading, and then we end up talking about people, I want to launch my own ICO, and that's exactly what we want to focus on. It was good to have you here. Thanks for joining.
I'll be back.
Count on that.
I would like to listen to your story also. I don't know if you have time to discuss.
I'm closing shop, and if you want to go for a beer, you can go for a quick beer. Otherwise, we'll meet again next Friday. I don't, because I use LinkedIn.
У меня тоже все.
So if you maybe
Ну, то есть этот email тоже все работает.
yeah, connect me on LinkedIn, then I have.
We'll do that.
Okay.
I will do that.
I think we met.
Just the mining, or
No, we have a business. So my business is trading investments, advisory, more
I'll send you
brokerage.
Okay, thank you.
Nice seeing you.
I'm not sure if there's a-
No, we don't know.
How you can help?
It's not my topic, maybe I will help.
No, in any way, we're really creating an ecosystem here. So I published some information about in case we want to be and people will join tonight.
Yeah, maybe we should. Yeah. I attend a lot of. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Scam, right? And in 2017, comes around, you start seeing how this market's becoming worth billions. And okay, well, there's step by step, but it's kind of
I certainly know a lot of angel investors, so depending on how much you're looking,
it's still a very risk averse
if you're looking to raise 10 million.
No, this is our part, yeah.
I mean, let's wait for a coffee.
Yes, many financial institutions.
Are you living here?
No, so that's not
It's fine.
we're more
I'm
interested in connecting
Swiss as
people.
well.
That's
I've been here 20 years.
I don't hear that.
So from a brokerage point of view,
Do you have a car?
I'm sorry, I literally run out of
I'm
it.
on LinkedIn. Are you
I'm originally Russian, but I lived in London for 8 years.
I was
I
thinking,
used to live in London.
would you be open to share a bit more in this context or the context of the other?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I try and adapt to the local culture one day.
Something you're interested in? Okay.
Well, hopefully see each other next week. Or
Because I'm very bad with business cards. I always hate it.
My day job is restructuring turnaround. I spend a lot of time in banks, distressed companies,
Okay.
but I'm also involved with startups.
Yeah.
And I want to do less of the shares, startups.
Nicholas, and then
So the space to start.
Yeah.
With the startups, so we're launching their own ICOs. Yeah.
So you mentioned working with the supporting industry
Like,
for.
basically, if you want to do an ICO, you need to design your token.
Cool.
You need to
You're clean.
you want your startup.
So you work with a lot of startups that come to you and ask
Yeah.
for advice.
Recently?
As an advice, it's more
Sorry for
advice
that.
that it
You moved here. No, from that respect.
They have already
You remind me.
Yeah, I think we're best in
Yes.
Yes, kind of
We are-
compliance steps,
We
just
are,
make
yeah,
sure if
like,
it's
as,
legal.
like to start with, they already have a legal, or so. It's like, yes, we are going from an ICO, there is in this time, and then they already have a clear idea of token design, they already know what they want to be written there in smart contract. Or some of them they already have a smart contract
So
and they
this is
want
your
to
old
edit.
one.
Because when
No,
they write
it's
the smart contract,
because you added it
and then
wrong.
they have a fixed
Absolutely,
price
I'm saying
when
Rob-
they're not.
Yeah.
So it's really technical.
What you were doing there?
And it's really like professional. It's not like a client may come and say, oh, you know, I have this idea in there, it will be really good to tokenize.
No, they were clear
I
ideas.
know, like
Like,
he was saying, like the banana industry or
Yeah.
not really in this
Like you do like, let's say, between advisor
and we have
So still
supported
companies
like
to fund.
we have all products.
Yeah, sometimes you make
But-
hey, great.
but-
I was looking forward to that.
They have, as you were saying, like big, really strong, you know, like advice and as well,
How do I stop these? Pause. Jord, any word on XVG? Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. We lost a bit of interaction here. We'll do a better job at operating next time. Or perhaps you can show up me
And I actually it's quite interesting because when she was talking about we have a
Right,
really,
now I
for
close
example,
it.
we have a really nice product, which
How
is
do I
a
close it?
product. And I was thinking, maybe